we have our fourth and final quarterfinal. We have representing medicine, Josien. There she is. Woo! And taking her on is Matt Baker representing bacteria. These two have asked for a coin toss to decide who goes first. Who's going to call it for me?
Tails, please.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Baker! Anything you want, they're both on as well.
Have you ever been to IKEA and seen a bookcase that would look just amazing in your living room, but when you got home, all you had was a box of planks, a single Allen key, and an instruction manual in a dozen languages with no idea how to put it together? Well, imagine the same thing, but instead of a bookcase, one of the most complicated biomachines on the planet, something a millionth the size of a grain of sand that can rotate 5 times faster than a Formula One engine, change directions in thousandths of a second, and navigate bacteria to where life is better. Well, that machine is the bacterial flagella motor. It's the rotary motor that rotates the propeller that makes nearly all bacteria swim. It's effectively the outboard motor on the Salmonella speedboat, and it's one of the most advanced technological pieces of marvel in the universe. So why is it so amazing? Well, one reason you can start to understand why it's so amazing is that it can build itself, and that's very different to the way we build things. We typically build things brick by brick, much like a bricklayer sticks one brick onto one brick following a plan to build a house. But this machine can self-assemble. You throw all the bricks together and it just spontaneously builds a house. We know that's really foreign to our understanding of how things are built, but it's happening all the time, millions of times a day in the world of the bacterium. So that's one piece of marvelous technology inside a bacterium. Well, why is it so amazing? Well, one of the things bacteria can do is they can reproduce every 20 minutes. When we try to do that, it takes 9 months and 40 years to make a functioning, sane adult. So we have a very hard time of that, but bacteria do it very, very easily. And because they're doing it so quickly in such a competitive environment, they have to exploit every little advantage they get. That's why the flagella motor has been so refined by billions of years of evolution to be such a complex machine. But we're not really here today to talk about the technological marvel of bacteria. We're here to talk about bacteria versus medicine. Now, my biggest complaint with medicine is it's just too inherently good. How many times have you ever heard someone say, "I think we give too much funding to children's cancer research"? I'll tell you, you've never heard that, because it's inherently obviously good. It's too easy to get money. Similarly, the general point of medicine is to extend a human life. And I ask you, what sort of person would want to prolong a human life in this current political climate? What are you going to do? Are you going to swim to work after your global warming catastrophe? Not me. I'm ready to die right now. My last, more serious note is really the role of medicine as a brain drain away from the other sciences. I'm involved in interviewing medical students, and you'd be very surprised the number of medical students, or potential students, who answer when you ask them, "Why do you want to study medicine?" They answer, "Oh, I don't." Now, of course, that's fairly terminal for their chances of becoming a medical student, but it's also a window into their minds. A lot of people are motivated by the bag of dollars or the misplaced prestige of medicine. And I wish we all had the balls to do more fundamental research, discovery research, such as trying to understand the technological marvels behind a bacterium or other biological organisms. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Hi, my name is Josien. People find that hard to remember. It's like yo and scene, like don't make a scene, which I invariably end up doing. I'm in medical research, and that is both weird and cool. It's also very good, as some people may have pointed out. And then weird and cool is not something that happens in high school. When I was in high school, I got the weird down perfectly. I'm still kind of working on the cool, but the work I do is kind of cool. It's also kind of weird because I work on gender differences. You know that talk you had with your parents when you were 4 about how boys and girls are different? I have to have that talk with fully grown men all the time. And the whole idea of gender differences hasn't really penetrated into medicine. It's, the whole, with promotions and pay gaps, it's all, oh yes, women, definitely different. And then as soon as it comes to medicine, they go like, oh yes, the medicine that we have for the men, give it to the women. They're basically men, only with beards. Or no, the men are the ones with the beards. Scratch that. I'm still working on mine. It's not quite there yet. You have a really lovely one. I like it. The cool thing, though, that I'm currently working on is I get to work with brain cells, actually human live brain cells, not just the one up here, though those are a bit dodgy. I actually have some in a petri dish that I work on, and I get to work on how male and female brain cells are different. Some of you may have some ideas about that when you're taking out the trash or navigating somewhere. But their immune systems, men and women's immune systems are also very different. There's this wonderful mouse study that one of my colleagues has done where they've given a male and female mice tuberculosis, and all the male mice would just die off, and the female mice would live. They would sort of go, that was bad, and they would live, not with the low voice, obviously, because they're mice. And then after that, they thought, oh, what happens if we castrate these males? And they did, and it rescued them from pneumonia. So next time your man has a man flu, it's easy, get the scissors out, you'd be fine. Of course, another reason, and my wonderful colleague has already pointed this out, one other reason medicine is really cool is because we prolong life. You know, that whole battle between bacteria and medicine that we're supposed to have here, it's kind of already happened. We kind of won. But I'm really glad that Matt is here. I just wish he hadn't brought so many of his subjects. But thank you, Matt. Thanks.
Alrighty. Thank you very much. That is our final quarterfinal. Things are about to heat up. So yes, please write down. Josien, spelling's up there if you need some help. And Matt, pass them down to the end. Quarterfinals are over. To break before we hit the semi-finals, we're going to do our first random topic round. And our two combatants, if they can come on down, it's Adam Mikulich and Lisa Harvey-Smith. So a big round of